amazing. So this is Valéry Larbaud's real library, the one he had in the chateau.
Yes, it is.
Huh.
Actually, we
And
are
yeah,
in the public library of the town of Vichy,
that's amazing.
named
Yes.
Valéry Larbaud. This writer was born in Vichy 1 year before Joyce.
Just 1 year before, okay.
Yes.
And you know he died on the 2nd of February.
Yes.
He so it corresponds with
Yes.
Joyce's birthday on the same
Joyce,
day.
On
Yes.
the same day, yes.
Yes.
So there is a connection between the
Yes,
two
yeah.
writers. So we would like to present a treasure
Yes.
which has
It's a
been
hidden
bequeathed.
gem in this library. Yes.
There are many treasures, but there is a more specific one.
Yes.
It is here.
It's
It's something
like
unique.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Ulysses.
Yes.
This is quite something.
Just near
A very
the family
special-
pictures of Joyce's family. So,
with gilded
Yes.
edges and everything.
and he wanted the Greek flag to be on the binding,
Right.
and
Huh.
with the main title. So that's Ulysses.
I'm Marion Byrne and I'm acting director of the James Joyce Group in Saint-Jean-le-Puy.
I am Michel Brissot, and I am a member of the International Society of the Friends of Valéry Larbaud.
And I came here to see this wonderful first edition of Ulysses, which is in the Valéry Larbaud collection, and Joyce dedicated it to Valéry Larbaud. And Michel, you're going to tell me all about it. It's a very special first edition. Yes.
So I'm going to speak about the genesis of the work. And Valéry Larbaud discovered the work of Ulysses, the first chapters of Ulysses, which were published in the Little Review, which is an avant-garde magazine. And it was thanks to Sylvia Beach, the owner of the bookshop Shakespeare & Co., because he used to pay visit to Sylvia Beach. When he read the first chapters of Ulysses, he said, "I am raving mad with Ulysses." It's wonderful, he said.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and
he gave didn't he give a conference
Yes.
even before Ulysses was
yes.
published? Yeah.
due to the fact that the Little Review in the United States was banned from publishing the ongoing chapters, Sylvia Beach's concern was to publish Ulysses in France, in its original language. And to make known the author, Valéry Larbaud organized a conference in the other bookshop of Rue de l'Odéon in Paris, owned by Adrien Monet. And it was on December 1921, the 7th.
That's right.
And it was a great success. It was a great success.
And I think they even asked people to pay to go into that conference, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes. And that's where Valéry Larbaud, he said something like that, if I remember correctly, that Joyce was putting Ireland on the map for...
putting Ireland on the map.
Yeah.
And giving a cultural value to Ireland.
Yeah. And so that's really amazing. So I saw... It's gilded on the... I've never seen an edition like that before.
Yes, because Valéry Larbaud was very fond of artistic bindings. It was because in his mind a book was that's a work of art, you know.
Yeah.
So it has to be enhanced by the binding.
So Michel, this is a very special edition of Ulysses, the first edition, and it's also dedicated to Larbaud, Valérie Larbaud.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Joyce wanted to prove his gratefulness to Larbaud.
And what did he
Because-
say? What did he say inside?
So it's written in French.
Oh, I think that's it there, is it? Yeah.
It's written in French. À Valérie Larbaud avec la reconnaissance de James Joyce. So that's to express his gratefulness.
And the date, so it's the 13th
Of
of
February
February 1922.
1922. Yes, it is. And even, because Valérie Larbaud supported James Joyce, actually he gave him the opportunity to be lodged in his flat in Paris
Yes.
when Valérie Larbaud was abroad.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, when James Joyce was here in Saint-Jean-le-Prix, he also visited Valérie Larbaud.
Yes.
He went to see him. Yeah.
Yes. But at that time, Valérie Larbaud was in difficult conditions concerning
Yes,
his health.
yes,
He
yeah.
was almost paralyzed.
Yeah. Ah,
That's the copy number 4.
number 4. Wow.
So there are different type of copies.
Yes, and this is one of there's 1 to 100. So on the
Yes.
Dutch, yeah, it's.
With a special handmade paper.
Yeah, because the first 2 editions that came to the Gare de Lyon that Sylvia Beach collected, they were in the last series, in fact, but they were printed first, those 2 editions, yeah.
So that's a cover with a special color,
Yes, I've never
which was
seen
the
it.
color of the sky and of the sea.
And it's just beautiful, the color. It's very,
Simple.
yeah.
Simple, but
Yeah, and it was difficult to get this color, I think. He had a very particular color in mind, even though he couldn't see very much, but...
yes.
And it's so simple, the title, and it's very beautiful. Ah, Maurice Darentière, master printer. Yes.
Master printer, yes.
Yes. He was he was also a very courageous man to undertake such an adventure with Joyce. Yes.
And we can see that Sylvia Beach worked as an editor.
Yes, yes, it was her first and perhaps only. Was it? Did she print other? Perhaps, yeah. She was. It was her first publication in any case. Yeah, and poor Maurice Darentière, he had a very tough time with James Joyce. Because James Joyce just continued writing, in fact, until the day before it was published, I think it was. And he insisted on having it on his birthday, so it arrived at the Gare de Lyon. The first 2 copies arrived at the Gare de Lyon station, and Sylvia Beach came to collect them on the 2nd of February because he insisted on having it for his birthday. You told me that there are many things, in fact, in this library to see for a visitor. It's really interesting, and now we're standing before Ulysses.
Ulysses in French.
In French, exactly.
Translated in French. Actually, Valérie Larbaud revised the translation, which had been made primarily by Auguste Morel, and that was. In this sort of revising of the translation, he had a correspondence with James Joyce.
And some of the correspondence is
yes,
here?
it is in the library.
Right, so they're talking about Ulysses in this correspondence. And it was printed in,
it has been published in 1929 in Paris. So, because it was a very long work to do, and Joyce wanted to choose certain terms, because Joyce was more or less fluent in French. He knew he knew the French language quite well, because he had been living in Paris before when he studied medicine.
Exactly, yeah. And he spoke many languages.
Mm.
And so yeah, Valéry Larbaud actually managed this project, which was he refused to translate himself.
But
he was, yeah.
the main trust to supervise the work was given to Valéry Larbaud on the part of James Joyce, because Valéry Larbaud was a translator, but he was a writer too and a poet.
So there are many things to see in the region. Saint-Jean-le-Puy, with its museum and library dedicated to Joyce works, and the village where he stayed in the last year of his life, and also this splendid museum with 2 first editions and correspondence by Joyce, and so that's it's really, for Joyceans all over the world, it's an amazing visit.